Okay, so I uploaded a bunch of videos, screenshots or screen videos, and they were very specific videos about using your Mac and using Parallels virtual machine set up on your Mac in order to run Windows 10 or Windows 7 or even Windows XP or any other operating system you wanted to. The whole point of my channel was to set up a place to where the very specific group of people that were meant to look at it and get the instructions from it could go to and look at it. All the videos were very specific to questions that I had gotten emails about. Just to tell you who I am, I'm a field service engineer. I run around the world and I help start up machinery, automated machinery in factories, which makes me have to use programming software through Rockwell Automation and Alan Bradley. They help us to fine-tune the machines and integrate the machines into the plant system, and that's all I do. Well, we've run into some issues recently with our platform, which was Windows 7, and all the software that we use for programming ran on Windows 7. It takes a long time to get this software all loaded up and working. So, and not all of it will work in Windows 7. Some of the really older software are based on 32-bit systems, and most of your new operating systems are 64-bit systems. And then some of the software was written very specifically to work with Windows 7, which was a platform that they've been using for a long time. So my solution, personally, what I did was I got tired of using Windows 7 computers. I mean, now it's an operating system that's 10 or 12 years old. I was walking around with a workstation that weighed several pounds in the back of a backpack or in a laptop bag, and I wasn't able to use the most current operating system or computer technologies in order to do my personal stuff. Or it was either that or carry two computers. So what I came up with was I bought a MacBook Pro, and I used Parallels software to take a Windows 7 laptop operating system and make it as a second operating system on my computer. And that allowed me to carry the most updated laptop and the most current operating system. So when I'm doing my day-to-day stuff, paperwork, reports, or even just going on the internet, I was able to use my Mac. But when I went to a plant and I needed to connect to some machinery and do some programming, I was able to use my Windows 7 as I always had. So you can see what I'm doing. I have my Parallels desktop icon down here. I'm going to go ahead and start it up so that you can see what my setup is in full view. So I have Windows 10, Windows 7, and Windows XP. I'm going to go ahead and start up the Windows XP. I'm sorry, the Windows 7, because this is where I do most of my work. I'm slowly moving and migrating everything over to Windows 10 to see if I can get it working, and once I do that, then I'll leave Windows 7 and get everything working in Windows 10 and use it exclusively. So here's Windows 10. I'm able to, just like on any other Mac, it's a separate window. There's my Parallels desktop. I'm able to either click over to it or swipe left and right and go to it. This is the actual setup. I also have Windows 10. I can start it up at the same time. You do lose a little bit of resources when you're trying to run 3 operating systems at the same time. I wouldn't do this if I was trying to do programming, but just to show you that it can be done, I have Windows 7 open, I have Windows 10 open, and everything functions just as it always has. Alright, so Windows 10 is up. As you see, that's a little bit slow. There we go. And more than likely because I have Windows 7 already open. So I can pause Windows 7. And it doesn't shut it down. It actually just suspends it behind the scenes. so that when I need to use Windows 7, it'll come back exactly the way my view was. So now I got Windows 10, and the resources are geared over towards here. So what options do we have here? It's actually pretty cool. In the Parallels configuration, right now I'm on a shared network. I'm able to go online and use the internet in either operating system. They're just simply sharing my Wi-Fi signal that I'm attached to. And of course I haven't used Windows 10 in a while, so we're installing updates. And when I'm working, I can actually change that. I can tell this operating system to exclusively use my Wi-Fi. So if I'm connected to a Wi-Fi router at a plant that's connected directly to a machine, I can do that. If I plug in an Ethernet adapter, then that'll actually be in the list, and I can do that. And what's nice about it is I don't have to change anything in the Mac. I'm able to sweep right over here, actually right over to here, and I would change all my settings on the Windows operating system. So that's the idea behind what I'm doing, and that's why you're seeing these short videos. I decided to do a different video and to kind of explain the whole system here, because surprisingly I actually got some views that weren't the people that were intended to watch it, and I actually got some subscribers. So if there's interest in this and you want to know more about it, then just leave a comment, and if you have a question, I'll answer it. But I have a fully working Windows 7 operating system inside of my Mac operating system, and it works just about flawlessly. Everything you can do on a Windows 7 computer, I can do on this Mac. I can print from it, I can connect to the internet on it, I can connect to machinery, I connect to devices that require RS-232 communications. I do that right through the USB-C ports that they have on board, and there's no issue with it whatsoever. I've connected to all types of different communication devices with it, which you would think that would be where the issue was, but there isn't. There's no issue. I had some videos out showing you that now I've set up where I can actually get to my home folder directly from Windows 10. So my home folder, in case you're not familiar with a Mac, is usually your name, and it's your base folder where just about everything's going to be kept in. Another advantage to this is that my Windows 7 operating system and my Windows 10 operating system are one file. It brings it all the way down to one file. So if I were to, if you use this programming software, if I were to use some of Rockwell's Automation's updates and I had an issue, which happens on occasion, if I have an issue and it doesn't work out well and I lose function, sometimes that can take a week to fix. Trying to troubleshoot and getting on the phone with tech support. And if you're at a customer site and you're trying to do a service for them, then that's a pretty big inconvenience. It also can be embarrassing if you can't function with your laptop while you're there. They're paying for you to be there. It needs to work. So it's as easy as saying, okay, my update didn't work. Let me go ahead and I'll go in here and go to my home folder, and I'll just simply, delete. I'll delete Windows 7. I'll delete the whole thing. And then I'll go to my backup, which there is a video. I can go into my backup and enter Time Machine. And I don't have the disk in there, so I don't know. I don't think there's anything going to be available. But I can go into my Time Machine and then pull my last recent saved Windows 7 and slide it over. It's a big file, and it takes about 30 minutes to go over to it. There it is. I can go into my Time Machine, and these are my backup files, and I can simply go to my Windows 7, and I can click to restore this file, and it comes back exactly the way it was. It takes about 30 minutes, and you're back in business. And that update that you had put in, it's as if it never happened. You can try it again later on your own time, or contact Rockwell Automation and say, hey, here's the issues I'm having, and they can tell you how to fix it. But you don't lose any time. You don't lose that week of troubleshooting and changing settings and deleting files or reinstalling files that you used to go through. So that's the idea behind what I'm doing here, and I thought I would do some sort of introduction video rather than just leave these little clips of videos of instructions. So any comments you want to put down, and if you have questions, I'll absolutely help you through it. This is what I do, so I appreciate you watching. Thanks.